Well, Thomas B. Marsh, president of the Quorum of the 12, he's going to take this to heart, and he does a lot to try to unify and bring the Quorum of the 12 back into some semblance of unity and oneness. Not completely. We end up moving west, and we're going to end up in Missouri, in far west with Thomas B. Marsh. And many of you have heard the story of Thomas's wife, Elizabeth, with their neighbors, George and Lucinda Harris, both having a cow, and they're milking their cow, but not having enough milk to make cheese. So they agree that they're going to alternate days of the milkings, giving all of the milk plus the cream strippings to the neighbor this day, and then tomorrow they're going to give all of their milk to me so you can have enough to make some cheese with. Well, it's not very long before Lucinda Harris says, Elizabeth, you're holding back the cream, a pint of cream from each milking, the best part for making the cheese. You're not giving me as much as I'm giving you on the day. I'm not holding anything back, and she denied it. So the teachers come, what would be maybe considered home teachers in the olden days, or ministering brothers today. And they assess the situation and say, Sister Harris is right. You need to be, and she flatly denies it. So here's Thomas B. Marsh as the president of the Quorum of the 12, and he doesn't appreciate this judgment against his wife. So he takes the matter up with the bishop, who also says, Sister Harris is in the right here, not your wife. So he takes it to the High Council in Far West. And guess who they rule in favor of? Lucinda Harris. At which point the First Presidency hears the case. Because after all, he's the president of the Quorum of the 12, and he wants a higher authority to judge this. And the judgment comes in favor of Lucinda Harris. George A. Smith is the one who wrote a lot about this experience later on, although you can find elements of this story in a variety of historical settings, in journals and in other people's interactions, including Thomas Marsh's own words, speaking of making it right with George Harris later on. So George A. Smith recalled that Thomas said, quote, he would sustain the character of his wife even if he had to go to hell for it. And Heber C. Kimball told him, well, that's where you're going then. It was pretty heated. Thomas prayed and asked what the Lord wanted him to do. And he receives a 3 to 5 page revelation where God told him what to do and that he was to sustain Brother Joseph. But no, he took a different course. And then on October 24th, 1838, okay, this is a year after he's received Section 112, we're in Far West, October 24th, he goes and he signs an affidavit saying that Joseph is doing bad things and is going to lead the saints against the militias in Missouri. He signs this affidavit on the 24th, and it's on October 27th when Governor Boggs gets that affidavit and signs the exterminating order, where all members of the church are to be driven from the state or exterminated if they won't. Thomas B. Marsh is one of those who signs the affidavit that's going to lead to this extermination order. He didn't follow the council in Section 112. Now, to finish his story, he's excommunicated, obviously. In 1854, his wife Elizabeth dies. He then comes west, and in 1856, 2 years after his wife's death, he comes into Salt Lake City and he begs to be rebaptized, and he addresses the saints. Brigham Young lets him speak in a conference where he addresses the saints, and he tells them, if you think you can prosper and survive by leaving the church and fighting against it, he said, prepare your back for an awful whipping. And he basically shared with them, I don't want any position, I don't want any authority, I just want to be counted among you, because I have been through the whipping from the Lord, is how he describes it.